today for our visual art activity, we are going to be making vision boards. Since this activity can be kind of as intensive or as simple as you wish for it to be, I have some completed examples because I feel like the whole process might take a little bit longer than we have for this video. But before we get to that, I think that this activity could be very beneficial for a variety of different populations. I think depending on how you frame this activity with the materials that you have and what you challenge them to do, it could be really good for older adults with Alzheimer's or dementia if you got them to collect things that resembled maybe past memories or things that used to be important to them or still are. Like you could do it as like a reminiscence board type thing. I think for veterans with PTSD, this would be a really cool project to show like maybe some goals that they have or things that they want to get back into or get into, their vision for their future. Same with adolescents or teens with intellectual disabilities. I think this could be a really cool activity for them to sort of show, their goals and where they want to be and things that they want to do, maybe things that matter to them. So that's just some populations and some health conditions that I think this activity would be really good for. So as far as materials that you're going to need for this activity, I recommend like a poster board. This is a small one. This one is definitely bigger. You could do it on a piece of like copy paper if you wanted to. It just wouldn't be as sturdy and it would be like harder to maintain or like keep as like a keepsake. Whereas this is like more sturdy and it'll last a little bit longer. So you're going to need your poster board. You're definitely going to need some scissors and some glue or tape. And then as far as the things that you're going to put on your board, that is what is totally up to you, and there can be some variety or whatever. So I'm going to give you some ideas of things throughout the video that you can put on your vision board. But I do recommend maybe like pictures or magazine clippings for sure because it gives that graphic element. But if you wanted to do some like handwritten notes or some like stickers, do that. Yeah, some stickers. Like here's like a little vintage greeting card. If you wanted to do something like that, it just depends on what you have available and what you want your vision board to be. So to create the actual vision board, I have a little bit of glare. To create the actual vision board, like I said, you're just going to start out with your poster board and kind of get a feel of your space or like what you want it to be. This one is more vision boards relating to my love of like vintage film and glam. That's sort of what this one's about, like kind of like a theme of it. So you can take it and kind of make a theme of what you want it to be. This one is more of a vision board along the sense of like goals that I have for my year. So maybe this would be a really good activity to do at the beginning of the year and see throughout the year, what you're working towards throughout the year to achieve those goals and sort of serve as a reminder of what you want your year to look like. Like I said, so you're going to start out with your poster board and then you're going to just take your materials that you've gathered and you're just going to cut them out. And you can cut them out in shapes. You can cut them out as squares. This is where your like creativity and your individuality is really going to shine. And it's what's going to make your vision board different from other people's. So say like here I have a picture of some friends, and instead of leaving it as like a long big picture, I cut it out a little bit differently, so it's a little bit more, gives it a little bit more dimension, because I can paste it on, just like with this one, I cut out like the lips and pasted it on top, and it just gives it like layers and like a 3D look. And it's really cool to find, like I said, materials that might have different shapes and looks and colors, just to give you that cool look. You could also do materials like bows or string or things that could be really stimulating to different senses. So maybe some smelling things, like maybe some pressed flowers, or just symbols that could represent either a vision or a memory from the past, depending on which way you want to run with this activity, whether you want it to be something looking towards the future or something looking towards the past. That's what's totally up to the facilitator and the client. But yeah, so you're going to just essentially glue all of the things that you've gathered onto your board in a unique way, depending on how the participant wants to do it. So, for example, with mine, like I have little magazine clippings, like this one says relax, this one says experience life in full bloom, this one, it says clear skin, this one is like a alarm clock to represent, working on time management and getting up earlier and stuff like that. So it can be just like symbols that you find in a book or things that you've printed out. It doesn't have to be, something that you have a picture of already. Like if you have in mind, or your participants have in mind something that they really want to put on their vision board, you can work to make that happen for them. So with any activity, there's risks. So the risk for the activity is just definitely working with scissors. With any population that you're working with, you just want safety to be like first priority. So working with scissors and glue, make sure that they're being safe with those and using them properly, not ingesting any of the materials or hurting themselves with any supplies. You don't want that for sure. If you are doing this activity as a reminiscence activity for older adults, that can be something that is super, it can be anxiety producing or emotionally charged for them. So if you are doing this from a lens of like reminiscing instead of looking towards the future, just be prepared for maybe some emotional responses from your participants, and just be prepared to combat those. Maybe working with veterans looking towards the future might be scary or disheartening, depending on their health condition and their condition that they're at right now. So just be prepared for like emotional responses if that is the case with your participants. So those are just a few risks. The leisure benefits of participating in this activity: one, it gets them creative, it gets them working hands-on, it gets them thinking about the future or the past, which is both beneficial. This can help increase their, or decrease, their anxiety and depressive symptoms, I think, just looking back or looking towards the future with hope. And it can give them a sense of self-awareness or responsibility when creating this project. So if you're doing this as like a vision board for the year to come, it can give them something attainable to look at for their goals. So it's a really cool way to help foster their goal achievement personally. And so I think that's a really cool, unique way to use this as a tool in treatment. So this is a finished product of a vision board. Here is another one. Oh, it's upside down. But I just wanted to show you some examples of what these could look like. But everyone's will look different, and everyone's will include different components and whatever's just important to them or what they're wanting to get out of the activity. So that is our vision board visual art activity for today. Thank you for joining, and I hope you enjoy it.